Something in the atmosphere has changed. The air feels heavier, charged like heaven itself is holding its breath. The winds of the Spirit are no longer gentle, they're carrying an announcement. The earth is shifting beneath the feet of the chosen, and the unseen is becoming visible. Those who can feel it know this isn't coincidence. This is divine interruption. Chosen one, stop and listen. You didn't find this message by accident. Heaven scheduled this encounter. You've been led here through signs, through delays, through whispers that only your spirit could recognize. Every prayer you've prayed, every tear that fell unseen, all of it has led you to this exact moment. Right now, you stand at a spiritual crossroads, a divine intersection between promise and fulfillment. Behind the veil, the scrolls of destiny are being unsealed, and what was once hidden is about to be revealed. But heaven speaks with urgency. Open your eyes now, because what you do next will decide what unfolds. You've felt it, that restlessness that won't let you sleep, the sense that something bigger is calling you. You've endured silent battles, carried the weight of unanswered prayers, and wondered if you somehow missed your season. But hear this, you didn't miss it. You were being positioned for it. Every delay was divine strategy. Every closed door was sacred redirection. And now the appointed time has arrived. The vision is speaking, and it will not wait any longer. The window is open, but not for long. Heaven is saying, this is your moment. Move, or you'll watch what was meant for you slip through your hands. The things you've prayed for are closer than they appear. The door you've been knocking on is unlocked, but if you don't walk through it now, it may not remain open. Chosen one, this isn't fear, it's mercy. God is not trying to frighten you, He's trying to awaken you. This is not punishment, it's protection. Heaven has seen the traps set against your destiny, and this message is His final warning. Don't delay, don't look back, don't doubt. Act while the door is still open. What's coming next requires obedience, not hesitation. Faith, not fear. The Spirit of God is saying, I'm aligning everything you need. But if you ignore this moment, you risk losing what you've waited for your whole life. It has. So before we go deeper, seal this word in your spirit. Type 777 inches the comments as your act of faith. Like this video as your agreement with heaven's timing. Share it so another chosen one can awaken before it's too late. And stay with me until the end, because what comes next is not just a message, it's the instruction that will secure your destiny before the final door closes. God's chosen ones, open this now, or you risk losing everything. This moment is not random, it's not casual, not some coincidence that appeared on your screen while you were distracted. It is a divine interruption, the kind that shakes the air around your soul. Heaven has stepped into your timeline because something in the unseen realm is shifting, and that shift demands your attention now. You were not scrolling aimlessly. You were led here by the Spirit of God. Every second that led to this moment, the sleepless nights, the restlessness, the strange peace that wouldn't let you quit, was choreography. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord," and if your spirit feels it, that pull in your chest, it's because heaven is aligning your next step. This is not coincidence, it is divine timing in motion. You have reached a sacred crossroads where delay ends and destiny begins. There are seasons in life when time doesn't just move forward, it folds. The spiritual and physical realms overlap, and choices become gates. You are standing in that overlap now. The air feels different because eternity is pressing into your present. Heaven is saying, open now, or you risk missing what I've prepared. But this is not a threat, it's mercy in disguise. Grace is giving you one more chance to align before the next door seals shut. You've felt it, that holy unease, that quiet knowing that something is about to change. It's not anxiety, it's awakening. It's the sound of heaven's clock striking your appointed hour. For days, maybe weeks, you've sensed it, the tug, the whispers, the dreams that felt too real to ignore. God has been speaking softly, through silence, through repetition, through what seems ordinary but carries weight. Habakkuk 2-3 declares, "Though the vision may tarry, wait for it. It will surely come, it will not delay." That wait season is over. You are standing in the window of fulfillment. Right now, something eternal is converging. The same God who split the Red Sea, who multiplied oil in a widow's jar, who turned water into wine, that God is breathing over your life again. What was dormant is stirring. What looked forgotten is rising. The exchange has already begun. Heaven trading your exhaustion for clarity, your loss for multiplication, your waiting for wonder. But here is the part most people never hear, and why you were led to this moment. Divine opportunities have expiration dates. Revelation has timing. When heaven opens a window, it is not to decorate your faith, it is to activate your destiny. You can feel the urgency pulsing beneath these words. Something in your spirit already knows what I'm saying is true. Why does it feel like time itself is speeding up around you? Because spiritually, it is. Romans 13:11 says, "The hour has come for you to wake from sleep." There are decisions waiting in your hands that will shape not only your future, but generations after you. Heaven is offering acceleration, but only alignment can hold it. God's voice is whispering to your hesitation, "I'm not taking from you, I'm trading with you." Every act of surrender is not subtraction, it's exchange. What if the very thing you've been protecting in fear is what's preventing your release? What if what you're clinging to isn't safety, but stagnation? Heaven doesn't demand sacrifice for cruelty's sake. It asks for trust so that transformation can begin. Every time you release control, the divine mechanism begins to move. Every tear you've shed was not wasted, it was a seed. And heaven always pays interest on tears sown in faith. Psalm 126:5 promises, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." I know hesitation intimately. I know what it feels like to clutch the last fragment of certainty and fear, that if I open my hands, I'll lose everything. But I learned that when God says, "Open," He isn't taking, He's transferring. The spiritual principle is simple but radical. What you release in obedience becomes what He multiplies in abundance. That's why surrender always precedes expansion. You cannot outgive God. You cannot outweigh His timing. Every delay you faced was protection, not punishment. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." You had to walk through the fire, through the rejection, through the silence, because blessing without preparation becomes burden, but blessing after pruning becomes power. That's why heaven waited. It wasn't about testing your faith. It was about strengthening your capacity. Right now, the unseen is in motion. Angels are being dispatched on your behalf. Conversations are happening in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your name is being spoken in places you've never been, by people you've never met. Divine helpers are being positioned with instructions they don't even fully understand, because God's script has already been written. And this is the scene where your entrance changes everything. When you move, heaven moves. When you believe, the earth rearranges itself around your obedience. James 2:17 declares, "Faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead." This is the hour when faith must become motion. The window of divine opportunity is open, but it won't stay that way forever. When heaven says move, hesitation is disobedience disguised as logic. Don't let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Don't let comfort whisper louder than calling. The Spirit of God is saying, "Open now. Open your faith. Open your heart. Open your hands." Because this message isn't just revelation, it's activation. The anointing attached to these words carries your next breakthrough. It's not coming someday. It's happening as you hear this. You will not lose what belongs to you, but you can delay it through doubt. Delay is expensive when destiny is at stake. Heaven is not withholding from you, it is waiting for you. And something tells me you already know this truth. You've felt it, that subtle tension between surrender and resistance. You've sensed that the same cycle keeps repeating until you step out in faith. The heavens are declaring completion. The waiting season is closing. This is your moment of divine acceleration, where what would have taken years will unfold in days. Doors will open simultaneously. Hidden treasures will surface. People who once overlooked you will suddenly remember you. Your obedience is the ignition key. When you act, creation reacts. When you speak, angels record. When you believe, divine order awakens. The universe doesn't just respond to prayer, it responds to alignment. And here lies a mystery few understand. Spiritual truth functions like quantum resonance. In physics, particles respond instantly to energy frequencies in sync. Distance doesn't matter. Spiritually, the same applies. The moment your faith vibrates at heaven's frequency, reality adjusts. What looked immovable begins to yield. That's why you were led here. This message carries frequency, not information, and your spirit recognized it. You are standing in the doorway between promise and fulfillment, and the voice of God is calling you to step through before the moment closes. Open now before distraction steals what destiny prepared. Heaven's vault is open, your name is engraved on its seal, and the key was hidden in your obedience all along. The question is not whether God is ready, it's whether you are willing. Because the promise is ready and heaven is not finished speaking. The Spirit of God is saying, the next instruction determines the next season. This is not a moment for hesitation or debate. Heaven is not asking for your logic, it's calling for your alignment. You have prayed for doors to open, but now the door itself is speaking back to you, and the message is clear. Open now, or you will lose what has already been prepared. Divine timing is no longer approaching, it has arrived. The wind of acceleration is blowing through your life, and it will not wait for convenience or comfort. Old cycles are closing quietly, permanently, and if you try to cling to them, you will be swept away with them. But if you stand in faith and open your heart, heaven will meet you with a flood so abundant that every memory of lack will fade like smoke. Chosen one, you are about to witness what happens when God Himself steps into a story. You've walked through years of resistance, confusion, and quiet warfare battles no one saw, but heaven recorded every moment. Every tear has been catalogued, every sigh documented, every act of endurance written in light. Psalm 56:8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows, you have collected all my tears in your bottle. You never suffered unseen, you suffered under divine surveillance." Now, the verdict has been rendered, season of restoration. This is the fulfillment of Isaiah 60:22. The least of you will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time, and that time is now. Heaven is not just watching, heaven is intervening. God whispers, you've carried promises in silence long enough. You watched others rise while you stayed faithful in waiting. Your delay was never denial, it was design. I isolated you to incubate you. The silence you endured was not absence, it was surgery. God stripped distractions, refined your desires, and tuned your hearing so you could distinguish His whisper from the world's noise. The pain you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. Every disappointment taught discernment, every rejection sharpened vision. You are no longer the person who began this journey. You are forged, refined, and ready. Heaven says, now I can trust you with what others mishandled. Anointed one, your name has been whispered in heaven's council. Assignments are being redistributed. Blessings are being reassigned. Why? Because you refused to give up when others folded. You praised in pain, prayed through silence, believed against logic. And that endurance has written your name into a lineage of divine favor. Even now, the unseen world is shifting on your behalf. Archangel Michael stands at attention, cutting away what tried to delay you. Spiritual contracts are being rewritten in your favor. Debts are being cancelled. Hidden resources are being released. Deuteronomy 28:12 declares, "The Lord will open to you his good treasury, the heavens, to bless all the work of your hands." You may not see it yet, but the vibration of victory is already in your atmosphere. God is rewriting what people labeled over. You thought it was finished, but heaven is saying, this is the rewrite. Do you feel that stirring deep in your chest, the quickened heartbeat, the warmth in your spirit? That is not imagination. That is confirmation. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is breathing into your life right now. Romans 8:11 promises, "If the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he will also give life to your mortal bodies." The breath of God is entering your finances, your health, your home, your calling. He is saying, "I am restoring what was stolen, multiplying what was little, giving back the years the locust devoured." And when it happens, it won't be gradual, it will be sudden. A message, a call, a door, a deposit. One moment you will wonder, and the next you will know that this word was not just for your ears, it was for your reality. You've reached the threshold where faith must become movement. The door before you will not open through reasoning, it will open through obedience. God is saying, take the step even if you can't see the ground. Give even when it feels risky. Speak even when your voice trembles. Move even when your mind doubts. Heaven's power is not triggered by certainty, it's triggered by trust. The Creator of the universe does not need your strength, he desires your agreement. And this is the mystery few understand. When you open in obedience, the ripple does not stop with you. Your act of faith becomes a tremor that echoes through generations. The chains that bound your bloodline begin to shatter. The curses that whispered through your family tree begin to lose their sound. This moment is not about bills or breakthroughs, it's about legacy. Every time you obey, history is rewritten. The ripple of your yes will echo long after your lifetime, shaping destinies that will never even know your name. That's why darkness fought you so violently, because your breakthrough is generational. You are standing beneath an open heaven. The scroll has been unsealed, and your name is written on its decree. Heaven's timing has intersected your obedience, and the result is multiplication without measure. Joel 2:25 says, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. What you lost will return doubled. What was delayed will arrive multiplied. What was stolen will come back upgraded." But hear this warning: fear is the only thief left. Do not let your mind forfeit what your spirit has already received. Do not analyze what heaven has already affirmed. You have waited long enough. The window is open. Something extraordinary happens when surrender meets divine instruction. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once wrote that faith sees best in the dark. This is that moment. You are standing in the dark corridor between endings and beginnings, but the air is thick with destiny. And here is the hidden truth. Obedience is not a burden, it's architecture. Every act of faith builds invisible scaffolding for what God is constructing in your life. Spiritually, it's like quantum entanglement. When one particle moves, its twin across the universe moves instantly. Your obedience here sends motion into realms you cannot see. When you act in the physical, heaven moves in the eternal. Pause for a heartbeat and feel it that pull between fear and faith. Which voice will you honor? What if this instruction is not a demand, but an invitation to finally see the world rearrange in your favor? Your lineage is waiting for your courage. Your future is waiting for your movement. The angels are waiting for your yes. And when you give it, when your words align with heaven's decree, creation itself will bend to accommodate your obedience. The impossible will look ordinary. The unseen will become visible. So move. Step through the threshold. Open your hands, let go of logic, and hold on to light. The next instruction is not just your assignment, it is your announcement. You have not been forgotten, you have been forged. and heaven has already begun to write your reward. The season for hesitation is over, the gate is open, the angel has moved, the scroll is signed, and all that remains is your response. Chosen one, lift your hands in faith and speak it aloud. Lord, I open, I receive, I align. As you declare it, something ancient begins to break, and something eternal begins to move. You are not the same person who pressed play on this message. You have crossed over from waiting to walking, from believing to possessing, from surviving to reigning. The air itself feels different because heaven has started transferring what was held back into your hands. No curse can block it, no envy can dilute it, no opposition can reverse it. The door is open, and once heaven opens, no one can shut it. Revelation 3:8 says, "See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. So, anointed one, step through and do not look back." From this point forward, heaven is no longer whispering. The days of subtle hints and soft signs are ending. The voice of God now speaks in clarity. Move, and I will multiply. Wait in fear, and you will watch your portion pass to another. This is not to frighten you, it is to awaken you. There are blessings on heaven's schedule bearing your name. They cannot remain unclaimed forever. The gates are open, but the timing is precise. This is the divine window, the sacred alignment between obedience and manifestation. You've felt it, haven't you? The stirring in your spirit, the quiet conviction that something unseen is organizing your path. Perhaps you've dreamed more vividly, sensed energy surging through stillness, felt that mysterious pause in time as if creation itself were waiting for you to say yes. That is not imagination. It is confirmation. You've entered a kairos moment, not ordinary time, but God's time, a divine convergence between prayer and performance, seed and harvest, promise and proof. The Lord is saying, you are no longer waiting for the miracle is waiting for your movement. And this movement cannot be born from fear, logic, or convenience, only from faith. Hebrews 11:8 reminds us, "By faith Abraham obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going." He moved because faith doesn't require clarity, it requires courage. When Abraham stepped into the unknown, nations were born. When Peter cast his net again after failure, the sea itself reorganized to obey his obedience. When Mary said, "Let it be unto me," eternity entered time. Every miracle began with motion. Chosen one, this is that moment for you. The instruction may seem small, even strange, but it will unlock something enormous. God says, "The door you've been staring at isn't locked, it's waiting for your hand. You've prayed for me to open it, but I've been waiting for you to turn the handle. The authority was always yours. You are not a beggar at heaven's gate, you are an heir of divine inheritance." Romans 8:17 says, "Now, if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ." The earth is not resisting you, it is responding to your vibration. Every word you speak in alignment shifts atmosphere. Every act of obedience bends reality closer to heaven's pattern. This is the architecture of faith, invisible yet absolute. Imagine this moment as a symphony tuning before it begins. The universe is waiting for your note. One sound, one decision, and everything around you harmonizes. Isaiah 55:11 declares, "My word shall not return to me void, it shall accomplish what I please." It's Nathado. Chosen one, God is not merely giving you breakthrough, He is giving you dominion. You will not just receive blessings, you will rule over them. What you build in this season will outlive you. What you touch will multiply. What you decree in alignment will manifest faster than thought. You've been faithful with little, now you will be trusted with much. You will walk into rooms where your name was once forgotten, and favor will announce you before you speak. The very environments that once rejected you will now open in recognition of divine timing. But hear this clearly, you cannot enter overflow with partial obedience. You cannot carry yesterday's patterns into tomorrow's promise. The old fears, the hidden control, the silent guilt, leave them at the door. The threshold of destiny demands weightlessness. When God said, "Open now," He did not mean only your hands or your schedule. He meant your heart. Because the blessing He is releasing cannot rest on a closed spirit. It's too weighty, too holy, too expansive. Malachi 3:10 proclaims, "I will pour out a blessing so great there will not be room enough to receive it." When heaven pours, God needs room. You may ask, what if I'm not ready? What if I move and fail? But what if hesitation itself is failure? What if the miracle was never about your readiness, but about your willingness? Faith has never been about perfection, it's about permission. You don't earn divine movement, you align with it. And alignment begins where comfort ends. The philosopher Simone Weil once said, "Grace fills empty spaces, but it can only enter where there is a void to receive it." That is why surrender is not weakness, it is spaciousness. When you empty your hands, heaven finally has somewhere to pour. You are being invited into partnership with eternity. The Spirit of God is saying, stop waiting for permission to walk into what's already yours. Speak, and the winds will listen. Move, and mountains will shift. Open, and heaven will overflow. It said, do you sense it now, the tremor beneath your ribs, the warmth behind your breath? That is the pulse of destiny awakening inside you. It is not fear, it is birth. Your obedience today is unlocking doors generations will walk through tomorrow. The ripple of your yes will echo beyond your lifetime. Hell fought you so violently because your breakthrough was never personal, it was generational. So, step through. Don't analyze the wind, become it. Don't measure the storm, command it. You were never meant to survive life. You were meant to govern it. Chosen one, the gate is open, the angel has moved, the scroll is signed. Heaven is waiting not for your strength, but for your surrender. Lift your eyes, see what's unfolding. Lift your heart, release what's been heavy. Lift your voice and declare it once more. Lord, I open, I receive, I align. As you speak, light recognizes you. Heaven records your sound, and the earth shifts beneath your feet. You have entered the era of acceleration, not by force, but by faith. The door is open, and this time it will not close. Heaven is asking you to make space, not just physical space, but emotional, spiritual, and mental space. The more you release, the more God can fill. This is not merely a season of receiving, it is a season of replacement. Everything you lost in tears will return as testimony. The very places that once made you feel small or forgotten will become the stages where God lifts you in full view. Those who doubted your endurance will be witnesses of your vindication. For the Lord is not repairing your story. He is rewriting it publicly, turning your silence into a song of proof. You won't need to defend yourself this time, because your results will speak louder than any justification. As it is written in Psalm 23:5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." God is preparing to elevate you in the same spaces where humiliation once lived, not to shame your critics, but to reveal His glory through your rise. He knows how tired you are. You've been carrying faith like a stone in your chest, sacred but heavy, whispering to yourself, maybe one day. Yet heaven responds, that day has arrived. You're no longer striving toward breakthrough, you're standing in it. Every seed you planted in faith, every whispered prayer through exhaustion, every tear shed in silence was not wasted. The soil of your sacrifice has matured, and the harvest is overdue. God says, I am releasing it now. Do you realize that sometimes your waiting season wasn't about delay, but about divine timing maturing in secret? While you thought nothing was happening, heaven was aligning every detail behind the veil. The angels are moving swiftly, carrying scrolls of approval, keys of access, and divine appointments that will rewrite your timeline. Some will call your elevation coincidence, others will say it's luck. But you will know it was not luck, it was lineage. Favor flows in the bloodline of those who choose obedience. The same grace that broke chains for Peter and opened prison doors for Paul is breaking invisible barriers for you. Financial walls, relational tensions, spiritual ceilings. 2 Corinthians 9-8 reminds us that God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. The cycle of delay is broken. What took years will now happen in days. What was blocked will begin to flow. What was hidden will rise to the surface with undeniable clarity. You will see the fruit of this word not quietly, but unmistakably. Still, ask yourself, are you ready for the visibility that comes with vindication? Because when God elevates you, He also exposes you not for destruction, but for demonstration. Blessing reveals more than it rewards. It exposes the depth of your humility, the strength of your faith, and the quality of your discernment. The crown is heavy not because it punishes, but because it carries responsibility. Heaven promotes maturity, not ambition. That is why the preparation was so painful. You were being stretched to hold what others dropped. Lift your hands where you are and declare with conviction, I will not miss my moment. I will not close what God has opened. I receive, I believe, I move. For the Spirit of God declares, you have passed the test of endurance. Now step into the testimony of expansion. The door is open. Walk through it with courage. The moment you have prayed for, cried for, and waited for has arrived. This is no longer a prophecy about your future. It is a command for your present. Heaven is declaring movement over your name. The same hand that once withheld is now releasing. What was locked by delay is now being unlocked by decree. The instruction remains simple. Open now, not later, not someday. Something divine is unfolding around you. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit already knows. The shift is subtle, yet certain. You might wake with a calm that doesn't match your circumstances, a peace that feels foreign but comforting. That isn't coincidence, that is confirmation. It's the atmosphere of heaven invading your reality. God says, I have stepped into your timeline, and everything that felt slow, stuck, or stagnant will now move with supernatural speed. You are not waiting on heaven anymore. Heaven is waiting on your faith to catch up. Can you sense it? The increase of energy, the thinning of the veil between prayer and manifestation. Every spiritual birth begins with pressure. The reason your warfare intensified before this moment is because the enemy always fights hardest at the gate of promotion. You weren't under attack because you were weak. You were under pressure because you were next. The resistance wasn't punishment, it was labor. You've been carrying something holy, an idea, a mission, a calling, and now it's ready to be born. Every contraction of discomfort was heaven whispering, push. The Lord says, I've seen the sacrifices that no one else noticed, the nights you went without, the moments you believed when evidence mocked you, the days you chose integrity over ease. I counted every surrender, and I wrote them in the book of remembrance. Malachi 3:16 says, a scroll of remembrance was written before him for those who feared the Lord and honored his name. God keeps record of quiet obedience because quiet obedience shakes eternity. And now, it is time to reward what was hidden. The same way I brought Joseph from the prison to the palace overnight, I will elevate you in ways that defy explanation. There's a stirring in the atmosphere of your life. You may not see the change, but you can feel it in the frequency of your thoughts. The energy around you is recalibrating. People who once drained you are fading out, and those aligned with your next chapter are being drawn near. That is divine order, not coincidence. Isaiah 60:22 promises, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. The time is right, and the movement has already begun. The question is, will you make room for it? To rise higher, you must hold lighter. To step forward, you must let go of what no longer fits. The version of you that survived cannot lead the one that's meant to reign. Every habit of hesitation, every memory of guilt, every fear disguised as caution. These are weights that cannot cross the threshold with you. Heaven is saying, make room for overflow, because I can't fill what you refuse to empty. You are stepping into a season where restoration won't arrive silently. It will announce itself. What was barren will bloom with such intensity that even your enemies will bless your name. You will walk into rooms you once only prayed about. You will hear your name spoken in conversations orchestrated by angels, and the world will call it luck, but your spirit will know it was divine alignment. Breathe now, deeply. Feel the stillness after the storm. Heaven has already decided, and the verdict is in favor. You're not waiting for the miracle, you are the miracle. You are living proof that obedience shifts realities. The gate is open, the decree is signed, and the word over your life has been released. God has entered your timeline, and everything that once resisted you is now required to serve your purpose. The door is not just open, it's calling your name. What took others decades will take you only days, because the hand of the Lord is upon you. You are entering what heaven calls divine reversal, the sacred moment when everything turns, when what was meant to humiliate you becomes the proof of God's glory. The same voices that gossiped about you will be the ones declaring your name in admiration. The same people who dismissed you will speak your name in rooms you never entered. Even the situations that once shamed you will become the very stories that lift you. This is how God vindicates his chosen. You will not need to defend who you are, because your results will become your evidence. Isaiah 61:7 says, instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. You will not fight for visibility, for the glory resting upon your life will speak louder than your efforts. The wealth that was withheld, the opportunities that slipped through your hands, the calls that never came, all of it is returning multiplied. God is commanding divine recovery. Money you thought was gone will resurface. Projects you abandoned will revive. People who forgot you will remember. Even the years stolen by sickness, heartbreak, or betrayal are being restored, because the Lord is not only the Redeemer of souls, he is the restorer of time. He does not just return what was lost, he gives better than before. There is a reason this message found you today. Heaven needed to interrupt your routine so you would know your struggle was not wasted. Every delay you cursed in frustration was divine design in disguise. While you were standing still in faith, God was aligning people, shifting systems, and orchestrating outcomes behind the curtain. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. He was building capacity inside you to carry the magnitude of what he is about to release, because what's coming is heavy, and only the refined can hold it. Have you noticed how you feel lighter lately, but stronger at the same time? That is not coincidence, it's calibration. Heaven is balancing you for increase. The Spirit of the living God says, you are stepping into a season of public demonstration. What I did in private, I will now display openly. This next wave of blessings will not be quiet or subtle, it will be undeniable. Even your critics will be forced to confess, this had to be God. Your life is about to become a living sermon, an unfolding story that preaches without words. That's why heaven kept you hidden so long. You weren't being ignored, you were being polished into a vessel that could reflect divine brilliance without breaking. Now the concealment is over. Prepare your home, prepare your heart, make room for increase. And when the doors begin to open, do not shrink back into modest doubt. Walk through them with holy boldness. The opportunities arriving will not feel familiar because they are not recycled. They are brand new, born of a higher frequency. This is not recovery, it is resurrection. You are not stepping back into old rooms. You are being summoned into new realms. Chosen one, lift your eyes and look how far God has brought you. You have survived seasons that could have destroyed you, walked through storms that ended others, and yet here you stand refined, radiant, and ready. That alone proves that you were never forsaken. Now faith must rise higher than fear. Step forward into the supernatural. The floodgates of heaven are open, and the decree has already been spoken. Your season of hiddenness is finished. Your era of evidence begins now. This is the hour, says the Spirit, where faith becomes manifestation. What once felt distant is now standing at the edge of your reality. What you prayed in silence is echoing through the corridors of heaven, and the answers are descending faster than you can comprehend. You are not waiting for breakthrough anymore. Breakthrough has been waiting for you to believe that it's already here. The very atmosphere around you is shifting. The air feels electric, charged with purpose. What used to crawl will begin to run. What was silent will now speak. The gates of delay have shattered. Have you noticed lately how awake your spirit feels? How small things touch you deeply? How time itself feels different? That's because you have entered the manifestation window, the divine overlap between waiting and becoming. You are walking through the narrow corridor where prayer transforms into possession. The Lord says, "You're not standing at the door anymore. The door is standing open before you." Yet remember this truth. Open doors don't stay open forever. You must step through boldly, even when you don't feel ready, because readiness is not about comfort, it's about obedience. I understand the trembling that comes before transformation. I know what it feels like to be tested right before the miracle, to cry out for God while pretending to be fine. But hear this. Every tear you sowed built the bridge you now walk on. Every night of uncertainty was shaping your authority. Every battle that exhausted you was constructing credibility before heaven. You are not unqualified. You are prepared. The very season that broke you also branded you. That's why you now carry a peace that confuses people. It's the calm of someone who's seen the storm and survived it. The Lord says, "I am collapsing the distance between promise and performance. What seemed wasted will now work in your favor. I am restoring in months what others lost in years." This is what divine speed looks like, not chaos, but completion. Joel 2:25 promises, "I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten." Everything is aligning in a rhythm beyond your control, yet perfectly within His. Your task is not to strategize the how, it's to surrender the when. Heaven doesn't need your logic, it needs your yes. Chosen one, you are not just being blessed, you are being repositioned. God is placing you where your voice carries weight and your name carries favor. Influence will flow to you without striving. People will seek your counsel without knowing why. They will be drawn not to your charisma, but to His light within you. You will not need to force entry into rooms. The rooms will recognize your assignment. What once overlooked you will now call for you. That is what divine endorsement looks like, effortless visibility. Yes, the pruning was painful. You lost people, plans, and even parts of yourself you thought were permanent. But pruning is proof of potential. It means God saw fruit worth protecting. Some relationships couldn't cross into this next chapter because they were tied to an outdated version of you. Now heaven is sending kingdom alliances, people who multiply, not drain, who sharpen, not distract. You will recognize them not by familiarity but by peace. Colossians 3:15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace." They are divine collaborators, sent to build what God placed in your spirit. And to you, who have given without recognition, prayed without strength, and forgiven when it wasn't fair, heaven saw it all. God says, "I am turning hidden sacrifices into visible supply." Finances are shifting, resources are appearing, opportunities are reawakening, and you won't have to chase them, they will chase you. I am magnetizing your name in the Spirit, drawing what belongs to you from every direction. Law. But ask yourself one final question. Will you release control? Because survival taught you to hold tight, but destiny requires you to let go. This is the transition from striving to receiving, from control to collaboration with heaven. You've learned how to endure, now you will learn how to expand. Everything around you is aligning to the rhythm of divine fulfillment. The delay was not denial, it was orchestration. The hidden years were not wasted, they were the foundation for the acceleration that begins now. So, breathe, chosen one. The waiting is over, the evidence is here. The God who called you has stepped into your timeline, collapsing distance, redeeming time, and restoring everything that was lost. This is not just recovery, it is resurrection. And you, anointed one, are living proof that no delay can cancel destiny. Now you must learn the sacred art of receiving. This next dimension of your journey will not require striving or proving. It will require surrender. The blessings that are approaching are not wages earned through effort. They are inheritance bestowed through grace. You cannot earn what heaven already signed with your name. You can only open yourself to it. So open your heart beyond fear, your mind beyond reason, and your expectations beyond limitation. Make space for miracles, for the movement of God is already in motion. The angel of acceleration has been dispatched. Contracts are being written in unseen realms, healing is being confirmed, and restoration is being recorded in the archives of heaven. Even the ground beneath your feet is beginning to shift in response to your faith. Where there was once dust, new life is breaking through. You will begin to notice opportunities rising in the same places that once held disappointment. The desert is transforming into a field, and the promise that once felt far away is now running toward you. Chosen one, this is not just a new season, it is a new dimension. Your name is gaining spiritual gravity. It will begin to carry a weight that draws favor to it. Your words will manifest power. Your very presence will usher peace. For the Lord has decreed, the time of delay is broken, and the time of evidence has begun. Habakkuk 1-5 declares, "Look among the nations, and watch, be utterly astounded. For I will work a work in your days which you would not believe, though it were told you. The work has already begun, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. You have crossed through the veil of waiting and stepped into divine timing. Heaven has released its decree, and what was invisible is taking form." Even as you hear these words, the Lord says, "This is no longer preparation, it is presentation." You were refined in silence, polished in obscurity, and perfected through patience. Now I bring you into view not for attention, but for assignment. This chapter of your life will not be quiet. It will be filled with confirmation. For everything that once broke you will now become evidence of glory. But this glory comes with gravity. You are not simply receiving blessings, you are being clothed with revelation. You are stepping into a frequency only discerners can perceive, a sacred wavelength that hums with divine instruction. Others might not understand the choices you make now, but your spirit will recognize them as truth. Move with the wind, not the crowd. John 3-8 says, "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but cannot tell where it comes from or where it goes. So is everyone born of the Spirit." I know. This new season may not seem fair to human reasoning, because it will not be earned, it will be favor. God is giving you access to things your ancestors only dreamed of. You are the repairer of the breach, the bridge between what was promised and what must be fulfilled. The prayers your bloodline whispered but never saw realized will now find their manifestation in you. The cycles of lack and limitation end with you. The blessing begins here. Yet, can you feel the responsibility of that calling? Can you sense the weight of grace resting on your shoulders, not to crush you, but to crown you? God says, "I have anointed you not to collapse under the burden, but to carry it with elegance and wisdom. I am giving you discernment to know what to embrace and what to release. Not every open door is divine. Peace will be your compass." Philippians 4-7 promises, "The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." Follow peace, not pressure, and you will always know my path. You have wrestled with fear, the fear of failing, of missing your moment, of not being enough. But heaven never asked you for perfection, It only asked for permission. God does not require your performance, only your partnership. Every trembling yes you gave was recorded in heaven's book of remembrance. Every act of obedience planted a seed that is now bursting through the soil of time. The harvest is not someday, it is unfolding now. You are walking into rooms that once felt unreachable. You will soon look around and realize, this was always written for me. The Spirit says, I am rewriting your environment to match your elevation. The home, the relationships, the rhythm of your life, all are being rearranged to reflect your new identity. Do not resist the discomfort of this transformation. Growth never feels gentle to the vessel it expands. What if the very discomfort you fear is the doorway to the increase you prayed for? What if the shaking is not destruction, but divine rearrangement? The pruning has purpose. God says, I only cut what no longer carries life. When I remove, it's because I'm about to replace it with something greater. Expect alignments so perfect they will silence coincidence. Expect the unexpected, calls that change everything, opportunities you thought were gone, invitations that arrive out of nowhere. These are not random, they are reminders that heaven never stopped working. Even in silence, I was orchestrating your comeback. Guard your words, for this is a creative season. What you speak will shape what you see. Proverbs 18:21 declares, life and death are in the power of the tongue. If you speak fear, you empower delay. If you speak faith, you accelerate destiny. The spiritual law of resonance is real. Heaven responds to the frequency of your confession. Speak as though it has already happened, for in the unseen realm, it already has. You are not waiting for manifestation. Manifestation has been waiting for your declaration. Chosen one, you are now walking through the corridor of supernatural provision. Doors that resisted you for years will swing open effortlessly. Financial systems will align in your favor. People will be drawn to recommend you, to support you, to bless you without understanding why. Can you sense the energy around your life shifting? Even the air feels charged, a holy electricity that whispers something extraordinary is unfolding. God is magnetizing your name in the Spirit. What belongs to you cannot bypass you. The opportunities meant for your hands are finding their way home. The season of striving has ended. You no longer have to chase what's already been assigned to you. Simply stay aligned, stay faithful, stay surrendered. And remember, receiving is not weakness, it is worship. To receive what God freely gives is to honor His generosity. To open your hands is to say, I trust your timing more than my understanding. So breathe, chosen one. The air around you carries the fragrance of answered prayer. The unseen has become seen, the invisible has taken form. The Lord says, I am collapsing the distance between promise and possession. I am redeeming the time you thought was wasted. I am turning delay into display. You are no longer waiting for heaven. Heaven has arrived. Everything you lost has been redefined, and everything you hoped for has begun to move. The story is turning, the sound is shifting, the promise is alive. So open your heart and receive what has already been written for you. For this is not merely a new beginning, this is destiny in motion. When it happens, you will know it wasn't strategy, it was sovereignty. For this is not the reward of hustle, it is the harvest of holiness. I bless those who trust me when logic fails. I honor those who keep walking, even when the path disappears. This is not about effort, but alignment. The season that is unfolding before you is proof that faith always outruns formula. You thought it would come by planning, but it is coming by presence. For where my Spirit rests, acceleration follows. I am not just sending blessings, I am sending helpers, destiny carriers, who hold pieces of what you prayed for. They carry wisdom, access, and resources that will complete what I began in you. Some of them are already watching from a distance, drawn to the light I placed inside you. You may not recognize them yet, but their spirits are responding to your frequency. Don't doubt your influence just because you feel unseen. Visibility is not validation, obedience is. When you walk in alignment, heaven itself becomes your spotlight. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. The weight you carried was not wasted. The tide has turned. The favor is flowing. The door that once intimidated you has now become your divine entrance. Walk through it with courage, for the heavens have decreed it, and the earth will soon witness it. The time of hidden grace is ending. The era of public glory is dawning. Isaiah 60:1 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." You have entered the hour where faith becomes sight. Everything once spoken over your life, every promise that felt delayed, every vision that seemed impossible, is now standing before manifestation. The invisible is becoming undeniable. This is not symbolic, it is literal. Doors are opening, contracts are being released, people are remembering your name. Divine favor is tracking you down. Blessings are no longer something you chase, they are locating you because heaven knows your coordinates. Can you feel it, that holy restlessness in your spirit, that awareness that something in the unseen is stirring? It is because you have stepped into the current of supernatural movement. The air around your life has changed. The same rooms that once rejected you are now preparing a seat for you. The same projects that collapsed before are being revived under grace. Heaven is revising your story not from failure to success, but from preparation to revelation. What you thought was the ending was actually the beginning of evidence. The Lord says, "Chosen one, I am not only answering your prayers, I am accelerating them. I am redeeming the time that you called wasted. I am collapsing the distance between prophecy and fulfillment. What took others years will take you moments. You will stand in awe and say, 'It happened so fast.' But I will whisper, 'It happened on time. My timing has never been late. It has always been perfect.' You waited while I worked, and now that work is becoming visible. Understand this sacred truth. The delay was never punishment. It was protection. If I had given you what you asked for when you first prayed, it would have crushed you under the weight of unprepared capacity. But after the pruning, the tears, the surrender, and the stillness, you are ready. Your roots have gone deep enough to sustain the fruit that is about to appear. The storms that tried to drown you only watered your garden. The fire that threatened to consume you refined the gold of your character. What if the suffering you hated was actually the soil of your becoming? Heaven is calling for your expansion now, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, and relationally. I am enlarging your influence, your wisdom, and your reach. This next level isn't about recognition, it's about responsibility. I am trusting you with visibility because you proved faithful in obscurity. I am giving you platforms not for pride, but for purpose. When you speak, atmospheres will change. When you enter rooms, heaviness will lift, because what rests on you now is not charisma, it is consecration. You've noticed, haven't you, how people have begun to drift away. Connections have faded, invitations have slowed, familiar faces have grown silent. Don't mistake this for rejection. It is refinement. I am editing your circle because not everyone can walk into the season I am preparing. Some were meant for your wilderness, but not your promised land. Do not mourn the pruning, celebrate the preservation. I am protecting your destiny from distraction. John 15:2 says, "Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit." I am cutting away what cannot grow with you, so I can send what will multiply through you. I am about to introduce new people into your orbit, divine allies, carrying keys, resources, and wisdom tailored to your calling. They won't compete with you, they will complete you. You'll recognize them not by popularity, but by peace. And as I remove the unnecessary, I am also releasing the extraordinary. You've grown used to waiting, to enduring, to praying without seeing, but now you must adjust to acceleration. The season ahead will move like a rushing river. Blessings will arrive, one after another, so swiftly that you will barely have time to process before the next arrives. It may feel overwhelming at first, But it is not chaos, it is compensation. I am paying you back for every season of waiting, for every silent battle, for every hidden seed you sowed in faith. Amos 9:13 declares, "The days are coming, says the Lord, when the plowman shall overtake the reaper. The energy you once poured into surviving will now fuel your success. The endurance that kept you standing will now carry you forward, and what's coming will not trickle, it will overflow. You are about to see visible transformation in your environment. I am rearranging your surroundings to match your identity. You cannot stay in places I am calling you out of. For some, it will mean a physical relocation. For others, a new assignment or elevation in influence. Wherever I send you, favor will go before you. You won't need to introduce yourself. The anointing will announce you. The same Spirit that once sustained you in private will now empower you in public. Can you sense that the atmosphere is thicker with purpose? That time feels shorter, sharper, more sacred. You have stepped into divine momentum, and it will not slow down. This is the realm where manifestation becomes multiplication, where one open door leads to 10, and every act of obedience triggers exponential impact. The miracles I am about to release in your life will be both personal and prophetic. They will not just prove my faithfulness to you, but reveal my presence through you. Every breakthrough you receive will preach without words. Every increase you experience will declare my goodness. You are becoming a living altar, a walking testimony of divine abundance. And when the world looks at you and wonders, how did they do it? You will smile, knowing it wasn't strategy, it was sovereignty. It wasn't hustle, it was holiness. It wasn't coincidence, it was covenant. The same God who wrote your beginning has already finished your ending, and this, chosen one, is the chapter called Glory Revealed. But listen closely, beloved. This next wave carries a holy warning. The abundance I am releasing is not for hoarding, it is for hosting. What I place in your hands is not meant to be contained, but to be circulated. Blessing is not ownership, it is stewardship. What I pour into your life must flow outward to water others, to lift those still waiting, to build what glorifies me. If you hold too tightly, the oil will stagnate. But if you pour it back out, it will multiply again. The law of heaven has never changed. Open hands never run empty. Luke 6:38 declares, "Give, and it will be given to you a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." The outpouring increases through release. Chosen one, I am positioning you before great people. Your name is about to surface in conversations that will shift everything. Favor is speaking on your behalf in rooms where you are not yet present. Angels are arranging introductions that money could never buy. Soon you will find yourself walking through doors you never knocked on, sitting at tables you never applied to reach. It will feel strange at first, effortless, undeserved. But understand this, it's not coincidence, it's covenant. I am fulfilling promises I made concerning your life before you took your first breath. Take a moment, breathe, look around you. The alignment has already begun. The subtle rearrangement of details, the sudden calm after years of pressure, none of it is random. The peace you feel right now is not stillness, it is setup. It is the sacred inhale before heaven exhales through your destiny. For I, the Lord, am breathing upon your life again, and everything that was once dead must rise. Lift your head, chosen one. Lift your faith. Open your hands wide, because what I am pouring now is not a drizzle, it is a downpour. The decree over you is sealed. Angels have written it, the heavens have stamped it, and now the earth must obey it. Isaiah 55:11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose." The cycle of delay is finished. The season of evidence has begun. You have reached the point of no return. The waiting has expired. The silence has broken. Heaven's decree over your life is now irreversible. This is not a prophecy of what's to come. It is the confirmation that it has already begun. Spiritual locks have been released. Blessings that hovered in delay are descending into visibility. The angels who once fought for your breakthrough are now delivering it. This is the hour when everything hidden begins to manifest. But understand this, the heavens do not repeat themselves in vain. When I say open now, it is because the appointed window is active, and once it closes, opportunity shifts. You have cried long enough for doors to open. Now I am commanding you to walk through them. The hesitation that once felt safe will now feel heavy. Faith is no longer a posture of belief, it is movement. If you stand still in fear, you risk forfeiting what was written to unfold through your obedience. Can you feel the urgency in your spirit lately? That quiet pull, that weight that feels like gravity on your soul. It is not anxiety, it is awakening. I am bringing your life into synchronization with heaven's calendar. What I wrote over your destiny before time began is colliding with the present moment. You are being drawn toward everything I promised you. You have sensed it in conversation, in dreams, in the stillness of your mornings, that subtle knowing that something unseen is unfolding. And you are right. The unseen has already begun to take form. The realm around you is electric, alive with movement. Even when the world looks unchanged, the spirit realm is reorganizing everything in your favor. The soil beneath your feet recognizes the footsteps of my chosen. Romans 8:19 says, "All creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." Creation itself is responding to your arrival. Doors that resisted others will open to your voice. Systems that once ignored you will now bend toward your favor. You are stepping into a season of divine cooperation, where even mistakes will transform into miracles and delays will convert into deliverance. I am rewriting outcomes in your favor. What once caused you pain will now produce purpose. The relationships that ended will soon reveal their reason. The losses that broke your heart were actually blueprints of protection. Do you see now why certain prayers seemed unanswered? I wasn't taking from you. I was teaching you how to receive from a higher place. I allowed certain endings so you would have room for expansion. I withheld what was lesser so I could release what was lasting. The wilderness was never punishment. It was preparation for overflow. And now, overflow has arrived. The oil I am releasing will not only cover you, it will spill into everything connected to you. Your home will feel lighter, your body stronger, your ideas brighter. You will feel my presence in the smallest details, the timing of a call, the rhythm of a breeze, the peace that interrupts worry. These are my fingerprints on your reality. You will know it's me because what once required effort will now happen by ease. Striving will end where grace begins. Chosen one, remember this. Blessing is never random, it is recompense. You are being paid back for the nights you endured in silence, for the obedience that felt invisible, for the sacrifices nobody acknowledged. Every tear was a transaction, every surrender was a seed. I counted them all. Now I am returning the harvest. The field that once looked barren will yield beyond measure. The same places that made you weep will soon make you sing. Joel 2:23 says, "Rejoice, for the Lord has given you the former rain faithfully, and he will cause the rain to come down for you, the former and the latter rain together. I am sending rain in double measure. The wilderness will become your witness, and your scars will become your sermon." This outpouring is not just for your comfort, it is for confirmation. You are entering the visible chapter of your destiny, the one others will read and realize that I am still faithful. Your story will no longer whisper, it will proclaim. They will look at you and say, "It could only have been God." And you will reply, "Yes, it was always him. For I am the God who restores double, who multiplies without measure, who performs every promise I speak." But remember this sacred truth. Overflow comes with stewardship. Guard your heart as I expand your reach. Not every invitation is divine. Not every platform is sacred. Pause before you proceed. The more I elevate you, the more discernment you must carry. I will give you wisdom to know what is holy and what is hollow. For not every shining light is mine, but those who walk in my light will never lose their way. The counterfeit will always arrive just before the authentic. It comes shimmering with convenience, offering shortcuts to what was meant to be sacred. Yet those who stay near my spirit will never be deceived. The heart that listens more than it looks will always recognize the difference between glitter and glory. 1 John 4:1 reminds, "Do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. I have trained your discernment through the fires of disappointment so that you would recognize truth by its peace, not its presentation." Chosen one, this is the confirmation you have long awaited. The war is over. The battles that once raged in silence have lost their authority. You no longer need to fight for what has already been written, nor beg for what has already been declared yours. You are stepping into a peace no man can take, a joy no circumstance can shake, and a provision that cannot be reversed. This is your divine moment. The gates are open. The atmosphere of your life has changed. Heaven has spoken your name aloud, and the sound is still echoing through eternity. Lift your hands, chosen one, not in striving but in surrender. Declare from your spirit, "I receive what heaven has released. I open what God has ordained. I step fully into my destiny." When you speak, the very air bends to agreement. Angels record it. Miracles move toward it. You are no longer in preparation. You are in fulfillment. The blessing is not coming. It is here. The timing is not approaching. It is perfect. The story that began in silence is now being written in visible glory. Can you sense how the air feels lighter, as though creation itself is breathing with you? That's because your obedience has harmonized with heaven's rhythm. You have entered what I call the Kairos hour, the sacred intersection where preparation meets manifestation. This is not ordinary time. This is appointed time. You have endured the breaking, and now you will witness the building. You have walked through ashes, and now you will stand among beauty. Ecclesiastes 3:11 declares, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. Everything that once resisted you is now bowing in surrender to my will. Locked doors are swinging open. Hidden paths are unfolding beneath your feet. Every no from the past is being rewritten into now. I have dispatched angels to execute what I decreed long ago. Even when your eyes cannot trace me, your faith will prove that I am working." The Lord says, "I am transferring wealth, wisdom, and favor into the hands of my faithful ones. What the enemy attempted to steal, I have reclaimed. What you lost in tears, I am returning with interest. You will no longer live beneath your calling, but within it." Joel 2:25 promises, "I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten." This is the hour when I exalt those who remained faithful through obscurity, those who refused to surrender their hope. You have passed the test of waiting well. The season of hiddenness is closing, and the spotlight of divine purpose is turning toward you. Yet, even as it illuminates your path, remember that true elevation is not a stage, it is a stewardship. I am giving you visibility, not for applause, but for assignment. Anointed one, acceleration has begun. What took others decades will unfold for you in days. The blessings will arrive so swiftly that you will catch your breath in wonder. But know this, they are not random, they are recompense. Every hidden act of obedience has matured into visible harvest. The seeds you thought died in the soil were only waiting for this climate of grace. Have you noticed how quickly things are aligning, conversations opening, ideas forming, resources flowing? This is divine momentum. I am redeeming time itself, collapsing delay, and aligning hearts to recognize you as I see you. People will remember your name not because of exposure, but because of divine remembrance. Psalm 102:13 declares, "You will arise and have mercy on Zion, for the time to favor her, yes, the set time has come." The sound of breakthrough is about to echo through your life, but listen closely. The same faith that opened the door must keep it open. Humility must anchor the acceleration. Gratitude must guard the overflow. Guard the oil upon your life. Its fragrance draws favor, but it also attracts imitation. Not every opportunity will be of me, and not every platform will carry purity. Pause before you proceed, and you will always discern my peace amid the noise of praise. Chosen one, I did not bless you for comfort, I blessed you for covenant. What I give you is meant to multiply, to testify, to draw others closer to my light. The wealth, the peace, the influence, they are instruments, not idols. Handle them with reverence, pour them freely. For the law of heaven remains unchanged. The moment you close your hand, the flow begins to slow. But when you live open, I pour without measure. Do you realize what this means for your lineage? The blessing resting on you will ripple beyond your years. Your obedience today is building altars. Your descendants will stand upon tomorrow. The choices you make now are shaping the architecture of your family's destiny. You are writing a legacy of light in a world that has forgotten what glory feels like. So stay close to my presence. Let gratitude be your gravity. Let worship be your weapon. Let compassion be your currency. You are entering a realm where even your existence testifies. People will see you and sense peace before you speak. They will feel the resonance of heaven in your laughter, the calm of eternity in your silence. I am clothing you with authority that carries no arrogance, with favor that carries no fear. You will stand before the influential, and your humility will convict them more than words. You will walk into spaces that once intimidated you and discover they were always waiting for you. The oil of destiny on your life will announce you long before introductions. And yet, remember, the counterfeit always shows itself again, dressed as convenience. When it does, return to the quiet where you first heard my voice. In the stillness, you will always know truth by its temperature. Peace never panics. John 14:27 reminds you, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled." This is your hour of irreversible fulfillment. What was unseen will now become undeniable. The waiting has ended, the promise is performing. The heavens have spoken your name, and time itself is obeying the command. Chosen one, lift your gaze, for the story that began in the shadows is now unfolding in the sun. The pages of your purpose are turning, and the ink is glory. Your life has become a declaration that God keeps His word. And as you move forward in faith, let every step say what your spirit already knows. It was never strategy, it was sovereignty. Beloved chosen one, as we stand at the closing of this divine message, take a moment to breathe. Feel the air around you still trembling with the residue of heaven's whisper. You have not just listened to words, you have stepped into a spiritual appointment, a sacred meeting between your soul and divine purpose. Everything you've heard today was not coincidence, it was orchestration, a confirmation that God still speaks, still calls, and still chooses. The season of waiting has ended. The page has turned. You are no longer standing before the gate, you have walked through it. From this moment forward, may your days carry evidence of divine orchestration. May peace become your default setting, and may every step you take echo with the certainty that heaven goes before you. Remember this truth: what God opens, no man can close. What He blesses, no voice can curse. If something inside you stirred during this message, if your heart burned with recognition, if tears fell not from sorrow but from relief, then you already know this word was for you. You were meant to hear it. You were meant to awaken, because heaven has remembered your name. And as this message draws to a close, I want to invite you into a moment of sacred action. If this word spoke to your spirit, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to be reminded that their story is not over, and subscribe to this channel so that you never miss the next prophetic release. Your engagement is not just support, it's partnership in spreading light. You become a vessel of divine echo, helping heaven's message reach hearts still searching in the dark. To those who have already stood with this channel, who have prayed, commented, and encouraged, thank you. To those who have chosen to bless this space through a super thanks or any other form of giving, your generosity carries eternal weight. But know this, even if all you bring is your presence, your attention, your quiet amen, it is seen and honored. Every seed of support, spoken or silent, helps this ministry continue to create spaces of revelation, healing, and hope. And before you leave, pause one last time. Let these words rest on your heart like the final note of a holy song. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are right where heaven needs you to be. The storm that tried to break you has become the soil that grows your faith. The delay that once confused you has now revealed divine design. And from this moment on, may favor follow your footsteps. May peace surround your home, and may grace guard your every decision. May your nights be filled with visions of promise, and your mornings awaken with strength renewed. May you hear the voice of God in the stillness, guiding, affirming, reminding you you are chosen, you are loved, and you are never alone. Thank you for being here, for walking this journey of faith and revelation together. Until the next message, stay grounded in gratitude, stay aligned in spirit, and stay open to the miracles already unfolding. Heaven has spoken. Now it's your turn to live it. Blessings upon you, chosen one. May your next chapter shine brighter than your prayers ever dared to imagine.